thought I would talk to you tonight about a recurrent theme that I get when clients start working with me and they have an existing business. And it's about lifting the lid on your potential. So what I mean is when you have an existing business and you've maybe had a really great career already, yet you hit this point where you know you still have so much more in you. You have so much more to give. Like, you just are not done yet. But this massive potential has kind of lain dormant for a long time. It could be that, life has just dictated this pattern where you've maybe taken your foot off the gas. It's petered out, it's plateaued. I talk so much about plateau. And then you wake up one day, you're like, whoa, life is just going to pass me by if I don't get a grip. And suddenly you get this renewed enthusiasm for everything that is possible, everything that is a potential, but you still don't know how to push forward. And it's about lifting the lid on your potential. And I've got a really simple analogy that I use with clients. I talked to a client today about it, which is what made me think, I'm going to hop on and talk to you because it's good. I like this. And quite often I'll say to you, I'll break it down into the most simple analogies. The tea towel mentality? That's got so many of you. So for those of you that haven't watched it, click below. It's all about how we dim our own lights when things get tough and we just don't know what else to do to break forward into that next realm. We almost find ourselves making apologies for offering a great service or a really high-end product. And, if maybe not everybody's like flocking in straight away, rather than doing the hard work, being curious about, okay, so what else do I have to do? What am I missing? What have I not paid attention to? What do I need to work harder on? What do I need to learn? What do I need to master? What do I need to just get support and help with to be able to break through this barrier? Instead, we kind of give in and we create what I call the tea towel mentality, where, say, for instance, you're a fabric designer selling fabric at £130 a metre and the sales aren't coming in quick enough. You get duped into thinking, I know what I need to do. I'll create a low-end product, a tea towel for £15, and then everyone will buy them. Well, actually, what will happen is not everyone will buy them. People will moan that you're selling tea towels for £15. The same people that are moaning that your fabric is £130, they're never going to buy from you anyway. Yet we try and please them. And if you try to please all of the people all of the time, it's not going to happen. So kind of running alongside this other theme is lifting the lid, literally lifting the lid on your potential. And I imagine almost like this cauldron kind of pot. And you see in films, like particularly Disney films, where there's this witch and there's a cauldron, good witch, by the way, and she lifts the lid and all of this like air and the bubbles and it's all flowing. You can see it sort of flowing across the screen and it is in abundance. It's just everywhere. I always do this visualization myself when I'm really trying to put myself into that massively creative zone and think, what am I capable of? And I imagine physically lifting the lid and just everything just spilling out. Like, I can't control it. It's flying out of my mind, like the potential, the ideas, the expansion, like what am I capable of? And it's just that unleashing, that mental freeing of your potential. And that's why I call it lifting the lid on your potential. This is just a mind hack. Like, seriously, I'm talking to you about witches, cauldrons and Disney films, but do whatever works for you. I'm just giving you some of the really simple tricks, tools that I use that keep it real, okay? And this is the thing that I've talked to you about, how I used to struggle with things like business plans because my brain just didn't work that way. I just used to sit there and think, why are you asking me to write a business plan and make up stuff? Whereas what I do know is why I should be targeting this market. Like, who's going to buy from me? What's the brand going to look like? What's it going to feel like? Why should it look and feel like that? Because I keep saying to you, it's not that the figures aren't important. 100% they're important. But there's just so much else as well that needs to back it up. And the point about that was that what if you're not somebody that loves figures? What if you see the world so much more creatively? And what if that's your sweet spot? What if that is your selling point? And it's about a not one size fits all approach. And so that's how I coach. Every business is different. For some businesses that come to me, absolutely number crunching straight off is key. For others, I can see that the figures are there, I can see that the income is there, but the block is through branding. Like, every business is different. And that's why you can all lift the lid on your potential. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you're trying to increase turnover, trying to increase profit, whether you need a whole brand refresh, whether you need to re-identify who your target customer is. That's what Ambition are working on this week. You can still lift the lid on your potential, whatever area of business you are focusing on right now. Imagine lifting the lid and all of that potential, all those thoughts, all those inspirations, those channels that you could go down. Imagine them abundantly flowing out. And again, with a couple of clients today, I suggested creating an Asana project file to just brain dump. Like, don't worry about getting carried away with all these ideas. And one client said to me, what if I just get so many and I don't know what to focus on first? The idea is, collect them somewhere, then organise them. And I always advise clients to revisit them all of the time. So say, for instance, if you've got an ideas brain dump file in Asana, go in maybe once a quarter or even once a month and think, okay, so I stuck a load of ideas in there. Do they still feel just as exciting? Because not every idea will. So many of these ideas will actually just get scrapped. But you've captured them in the moment. You don't have to worry about a scrap of paper you've written them on and never finding it again. You know, it's about organising our thoughts and then creating a process and a procedure and a protocol for how we then sift out the great ideas and take them forward, and how then the other ones can just be binned. Or maybe that you revisit them again next year or in 6 months' time, whenever it's relevant. But it's just this process of, first of all, lifting the lid on the potential, letting the ideas flow, then go into real operating procedures and taking these thoughts and ideas and organising them, and then being structured about what we do with them. And I love to go through these ideas with someone in my team who I can strategize with, and then we look at them all as a whole and think, yeah, do we still feel that excited about that idea, or is it just a flash in the pan, or is it no longer relevant, or have we done it already and we just didn't even realise? And even just going back and looking at old ideas can create fresh ones. And you can think, wow, sometimes we need to be reminded of how inspirational and creative we felt at that given moment. And it helps us fall back in love with our business all over again. And you know I'm all about that. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it's something that just almost takes away the fear factor of how you generate ideas. Another way you could use it, so many clients say to me, I know I need to newsletter more, but I have no idea what to talk to my customer base about. Just go through the whole process of maybe try and put yourself into sort of a calm meditative state where you just sit, you chill, you listen to maybe a meditation track, and then go through this whole visualization of literally lifting the lid and letting the ideas flow. Again, it's a great way to get copy ideas down, maybe networking ideas, marketing ideas. These are all tricks and tools that I use with myself. I hate to get too stuck in the heaviness of how we do business. Business should be fun. Business should feel easy. Business should flow. We should always be open to receiving the flow of business. So these are some of the ways that I do it. Thoughts, comments, questions, leave them below. If this has helped you, I'd love to hear from you. You know, most of you that follow me are creative, and we spend so much of our time making ourselves wrong. Like, we literally go to war with ourselves over being creative, about having creative brains. And the other thing is that entrepreneurs have these massively wild creative brains. Like, we find it hard to focus on one thing. But you know what? I have a memo for you. That is called being an entrepreneur. Why do we make it wrong? Let's just work with it. Let's unleash the potential and lift the lid on our ideas station. Let everything swirl out of the pot. Let's bring all of those ideas to the table and then have a good sift through. So I want to know, has this helped you? Is this helping you realize that your creative brain is actually a wonderful thing? Or the entrepreneurial brain, that everyone else is manic, everyone else says that, oh my goodness, you can't focus on one thing. What if that was your absolute gift? But you just needed to take it on a step further and create some processes behind it to really make sure those ideas, those amazing ideas, that you can pick them out and then you can take them forward and action them. It's something that I do with clients. We just start with brainstorming. It's how I onboard clients. I want them to just feel free to explore any idea that pops in their head, and then we sense make of it. This is something that I've learned through fighting the way that I was told to do business that didn't feel natural, and I found my own way through. So I want to share as much of that with you as possible. I am giving you permission to allow your best creative entrepreneurial brains to go wild. That's what you were given them for, so use them, please. So I'd love to know what you think of this. Leave a comment below and I'll see you on the next video.